Hey everybody, it's Kevin. Today is the 20th of May 2021 and this is your spiritual inbox and my daily vibe. Thanks for joining me. I don't know that any of you are on here live, but when you catch the replay, thank you. If you get a minute, like and subscribe, and just share it with those who think may want to lift themselves up. And today's message really is all about ascension. Oddly enough, I'm gonna have my tea in the morning. Incidentally, I've taken to drinking a cup of coffee again too. Like, oh, this is getting crazy. Not a pot. I stopped that. I didn't go buying the stuff and make a pot of coffee in the morning, but I do like coffee and I like tea, so maybe it's a caffeine thing. Oh, yesterday I had a brilliant day. I drove 400 plus miles to just slightly northeast of Atlanta, and we picked up, let's see, this little fella who now looks like this. That was me and Dudley James, Sir Dudley James, last night, hanging out, watching some telly. And just to give you some perspective, this was Emma Grace last year. This was July 18th weekend. She was about a week younger than he is. He's 8 weeks, and that was her. And just to give you some perspective of what all this looks like together. Well, let's see, where is she? There. I'm going to get rid of that one, get rid of that one. There. This was last night. I mean, oh, well, that went away. Let's go back. There we go. Unbelievable. She is, oops. She is, I keep doing that. Why do I keep doing, there we go. There. She's a year old in a couple of weeks, and he's just 8 weeks old. I'm amazed at how quickly these dogs grow. When she was his age, I never thought she'd ever get quite that big. I knew in a way she would, but it's hard to see. It's hard to watch it blink and they grow. Blink and it's done. It's something else. Anyway, that was yesterday, and I was thanking he's so cute. I was thanking all of my angels and spirit guides for making it all happen. I was told by a mystic last year, when I'd lost 3 of them already, that I would be getting another one, and that it would be black and white is what she saw. I didn't believe it then. I was a little bit gun shy. Then I lost Trooper, who had pancreatitis, I believe. And incidentally, I now know through experiencing this feeling that the pups that left held space for these new ones to come. And yesterday I could feel the spirit of Trooper around me, in the vehicle, in the back, just briefly, just a little bit. It was just enough for me to know, oh, excuse me, all is complete, and all is well. So thank you, Trooper, and all spirits, all energy. It is all energy, for sure. So, let's see what today's reading is about. There we go. We got 2 really good cards that popped up. They're both from Keepers of the Light, and they both sort of presented themselves. Diana is the ascended master spirit. It's about intended focus. This is about being specific about what you desire and setting your sights high enough to expect the best possible outcome for everybody. Whatever it is you're putting your mind to, whatever it is you're setting your sights on, to be very diligent in keeping that focus. Serapis Bay is all about connecting like the death and the rebirth and the that change, the transition between what's ending, what's finishing, what's completing, and what's moving forward, particularly to remind us that there is no growth, there is no change and transformation without a little bit of challenge. So as we move into our true selves, we begin to rise above the darkness. So, for example, I'm going to use this as the ascension process. Let's imagine that you've got this pot that's got some caked on stuff on it, a frying pan, a saucepan, excuse me, and you've got to get this off. So you start by putting some hot water, and then you put some soap suds in it. So that's the intention. We've got to get this clean. Whatever the pot did served its purpose, got us to this point where now it's got to be cleaned up. But similarly, in our lives, we get to the point where we've accomplished this, we've accomplished that, we've gained this knowledge, we've got those material things, and then we're at the point where we really want to transition into something better. We want to lift, we want to lighten, we don't want these burdens. The challenge is we were the ones that made things a little complicated. And enlightening means to lighten the load, to lift up, to get brighter, to move through. And there's a sense of challenge that comes along with it, in so much that guilt and shame can surface when we're looking to lift up, lighten up, move forward, connect with source, whatever that looks like, increase faith, become kinder, become lighter, become brighter. When we want to move away from those feelings of woe, depression, all of that, there is a piece that talks about or looks at or that we have to face that wasn't as pretty, wasn't as clean, wasn't as tidy. And all these things come up. Similarly to the pot in the sink, that now you've let it soak for a while, the intention sunk in, some of the ratchetness, the toughness, the stains now need to be scrubbed. And so the work begins. The scrubbing and the cleaning and the tidying and the scrubbing. And for a little while, through the transition of lightening, ascending, of getting brighter, of moving forward, there is this dirtiness, this looking at the glugh. I've used it before about cleaning out the clutter in your closets, in your cupboards. You know, myself, one of the things that I was always attached to was the past. I battled with personal weight. Because the lie that somebody told me a long time ago, I was fat. So much so that, you know, there was more causation that went with it. Rather cruel, if you will. So I believed it and became that. And then so the roller coaster ride of dieting, losing weight, only to gain most of it back, lose it again to gain even more back, continued until I got clear with that lie. that it wasn't true. I wasn't fat. These things were just awful. And I set about to make the changes, which required affirming that I'm a beautiful individual. I'm not whatever I was telling myself. But rather than saying, I'm not, because that still reminds us of where we are, you affirm that you already are what you really are. Underneath all of the coats and coats and coats and coats and coats and coats of negativity is who you are, is what you're about. We can take a lifetime of therapy, and indeed counselors, therapists, psychologists, even psychiatrists, they are all very well trained, and they are all have a purpose in the world, especially right now. They're the only ones that really are qualified to give an accurate diagnosis of somebody's mind mess or their mind state. And if they're doing their job properly, they're going to be able to coach, assist, and help those that truly are struggling to move forward. But there comes a point where all of us, every one of us, irregardless of whether you're in a therapy session or not, where we all have to look at the covers, the masks, the everything that we have put in front, the filters that we've learned to use and do, and the behavior that we've done to cover up the fact that what we've been telling ourselves or what we've been told simply isn't true. So Serapis Bey says, to move into your true self, to become that bright, shiny, lovely, wonderful, ascended master of meditation, master of love, of all of that. I like to call it the Kumbaya land, hippy dippy place. To be that, it's about chipping back, scraping back all the things that made you who you are. The lovely little tiny delicate piece that is so very important is, if those experiences had never happened, if you had not, or if the road that took you to get here hadn't happened, you wouldn't be at this glorious place. And it's a tiny little shift from being filled with shame or regret or anger or guilt or any of those more negative nonsense into appreciation for the lesson that you learned. Appreciation for understanding, oh my goodness, I now know this to be the truth. I now know that I'm a beautiful human being. I now know that my purpose is to shift. I now know that I don't have to define who I am by the job I do. I now know that I'm going to be good enough whether I have a bicycle to drive or a sports car or a luxury vehicle or a truck. I now know that my life does not the living of my life, the journey of my life is not defined by the things I've got, the places I live, the people I know, and how all of those things work or don't work. So without the realization, oh my goodness, and the understanding, revelation, we can't get to the ascension. Serapis Bey is here to tell you that you're rising above this revelation. You're rising up from the challenge. And then in real terms, today's land, we've got an awful lot of students, both high school and college, that are graduating. They're going out in the world. They're making their mark on the world. They have accomplished much. They have taken tests, passed them, failed them, And goodness only knows, in the last year, almost year and a half, the class of 2021 went through challenges upon challenges upon challenges with virtual learning, challenges upon challenges upon challenges with university curriculums, the campus, all of the political tsunami that churned up families, created dissension among political leaders. So that class deserves a huge round of applause. And for the class of 2020 that never got the graduation, never got to celebrate, never got to do their big, glorious walk, they should be celebrated also. These young students, these young graduates are the future of what we are going to do next. And so for those of us that would be old enough to be their grandparents, that's hard for me to even get my head around, but it's true. It's time to empower them. It's time to give them what they need so that they too can find their purpose, ascend up and forward, give them the support that they choose, listen to them when they have these bright, brilliant ideas of how the planet, the world is moving forward. Not fight them, not decide that, whatever you believe, whatever you were raised with. I like to think to myself, well, we had our chance. What did we do with it? Anyway, I don't want to get political. I just want to say that is the message. Follow your heart's desire. Know that the challenges that you have faced, that you are where you are because you did what you did, irregardless of whether you right now feel that was a good thing or a bad thing. There is never a bad thing if you get something from it. Okay, my friends. While I'm surviving on less sleep than I would like to have had, I'm grateful for naps, and I'll be doing that later. The joy of raising a puppy, other than that delightful puppy breath, is the for me it's watching them discover new things and understanding that they very quickly know how to get what they want by making a noise. And letting you know, this is not right, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or whatever. It's amusing. I find it amusing. I could be around puppies all day long. I think that's like people could be around babies all day long. Not that I don't love adult dogs, I do. They are my fur family, but puppies, oh, just delightful. All right, so let's go to today's Melody Beatty message. Value the fragrances of the universe. I stopped at a small gas station to fill the tank and get a cup of coffee en route through Northern California. Did you know that the world's largest manufacturer of aromatherapy products is right here in town? Asked the attendant. His remark reminded me of the power of the sense of smell to affect how we feel. We are surrounded by odours, but unless one is particularly noxious, we tend to ignore the effects of the scents that we are inhaling. And we tend to underestimate the power of certain scents to help us heal. Nurture your sense of smell. Let it come alive. Use its power to help you heal. A bundle of white sage burning in a seashell on the table. A wisp of cedar smoke from the fireplace. A cone of incense filling the air. Lavender oil in the bath. Drops of eucalyptus sprinkled in the shower. Its penetrating aroma mingling with the steam. A vanilla candle on the nightstand next to your bed. The smell of a forest, fresh with rain. Ocean air, salty and damp. The rich sawdust smell of redwood. Comforting smells from childhood. Bread baking in the oven. Freshly baked chocolate cake on the counter. Chicken frying in the pan. The smell of our favourite people, their hair, their clothes, their cologne. Value your sense of smell, the way it connects you to yourself, to memory, to emotion, to the universe and the world around you. Use your sense of smell to help you discover what's right for you. Surround yourself with the fragrances of the universe. Let them help you heal. Aromatherapy. I don't know if I have anything to add to that. I did like reading it. I did like the message. To be present to how the senses, physical senses and non-physical senses, can invoke an emotion. All right, let's meditate. Bring your feet flat on the floor, take a stretch, get your body right where you want it to be, present, nice tall spine, and drop in for this point. Start your breath. As you take a deep breath in, if you've got a candle burning or coffee making, smells of the breakfast, just take it in. There's something pleasing, lifting, ascending about what you're smelling. Be with that feeling, the gratitude that you can smell it. As you connect with your breath, let your mind focus on the soles of your feet. Allow the soles of your feet to dig deep down into the earth. Using your mind and your imagination, think of your feet as having roots connected to the earth's core. Think of these roots reaching for a solid crystal. This solid crystal can be any one that you choose. Rose quartz, smoky quartz, a quartz crystal, amethyst, the tiger's eye. Allow your connection to the earth to absorb and to pull out all the burdens from your heart, all the burdens from your belly, all the burdens that you carry around that you don't necessarily have the opportunity to release. Allow your energy and your mind to rise on up through your body. Think of the energy coming from Mother Earth, the love coming from Mother Earth. In a spiral pattern. Let the energy intermingle with the center of your body. The bone structure, muscle fiber, the connected tissues, out through the skin, allow the energy to move in a spiral pattern working its way in and out, around and up. As you move up through the body, from the belly into the ribs, and the ribs down into the heart and lungs, diaphragm. In and out and around the upper chest, armpits, scapular bones, the center of your shoulders, the deltoid muscles and your neck. Your neck down your shoulders, in through the back of your head. Lift up towards your brow and the crown of your head, and think of this energy as swirling in a circle. Moving from the rich shade of violet around your brow up into a soft, brilliant, silvery light around your crown. See a cluster of stars in a circle perfectly formed, moving in a circle, rotating wider than your body. Allow this circle of light to rotate 6 to 8 inches slightly above your head. And think of this energy circling like a vortex. Round, drum-like cylinder. Getting wider, brighter, lighter towards the top. Imagine about 12 to 15 inches above your head. This is the stellar gateway. Your stellar gateway works with all the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Beyond the stellar gateway is the source energy that comes from the divine matrix that's part of this entire galaxy, the entire universe. As you connect with this source energy, know that you are part of it. And you can listen along or repeat after me. Thank you, Lady Venus, for increasing my connection to source energy. Thank you for raising my vibration. Thank you for connecting to my highest truth. Thank you for revealing to me my highest purpose. Thank you for reminding me that I am part of source energy, part of divine light. I vibrate with source energy. I vibrate with divine light. I'm energized by fourth source energy. I'm energized by divine light. Thank you, Lady Venus, for increasing my bandwidth to source, for increasing my awareness to source energy. I am now ready to receive the ancient wisdom. So it is, and so shall it be. Keep breathing and keep the sense of this connection that has always been with you. Think of this as a greater awakening to who you are. Bring your hands to heart center at your chest. Lift your thumb knuckles between your forehead center, and together we bow and say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for that. Let me know if you enjoyed that attunement. Any comments? I'll listen to them. And I look forward to what tomorrow brings. Bye.